the level of insanity that is exhibited by these people, and by that I mean just the complete break from reality that constitutes the base of the Republican Party, is just fascinating. And look, you can find criticism of people of every political stripe, and you can find, but does anybody think that this is an outlier? Let's put it that way. Like there at one point, it becomes quite clear that the number of people who are espousing this sort of insanity at these rallies, that they're getting it from someplace. And here is the Right Side. What is it? The Right Side Broadcasting Network. They are the latest to try and like clean up and start to make cash off of becoming like the Trumpist.
Well, yeah, they were running a lot of his rallies in 2016 just raw. That's how they got.
I mean, Fox did that too.
Yeah.
But now OAN is like kind of in shambles given how much money they've lost. But so here's the new.
Here's Right Side Broadcasting Network, and this is outside of Donald Trump's rally. Here is one of the typical people who go and see one of these rallies.
The election, I believe, was stolen, but we know that Space Force has it all. Trump has all the information. It's going to be overturned.
What do you think Space Force has?
Space Force is a military branch of the, just like the Army, all the military, and they literally walk up here. They literally, the night of the election, they literally watched the election be stolen. They know, they watermarked the ballots. They know exactly what happened with every ballot. They know what fake ballots, all right? They knew the election switches. They know what countries were involved. They know they followed the money. They know what every politician that's been paid off. They know there was 269,000 sealed indictments, but I think it might even be up to 500,000 sealed indictments. And I believe that we're going to have an emergency broadcast in the middle.
What would be nice at this point is for the reporter to be like, what's your citation for any of this?
But
that would be nice, but that's not going to happen on Right Side Broadcasting
But here's a couple of things that I want people to keep in mind here. Those people, I think, behind her are with her. This woman's not like living in a tent. She's like living her life. And there are people around her, and she has this information that is so specific that she's, I'm sorry, did I say 269,000 sealed indictments that are being held? Of course, they're being overseen by Space Force, the entire military. They watermarked every single ballot in the country, so they are able to track every single ballot. Now, here's the thing. Forget about how insane this is. She believes it. And down to, I misspoke. I said 260. It's 269. Now, I have reason to suspect, and this may be an outlier, that there could be 500,000 sealed indictments in the Space Force barracks, the secret one.
So the Space Force is the rebels to the Empire, which is the deep state, right? That's kind of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But she's not. This is not somebody who's like I say, living in a tent and coming.
Psychosis.
This is and no one in her circle of life seems to be in any way concerned about it. It leads me to believe that they're also. Yeah, I don't know the details. It could be 260. It could really, to be honest with you, it could be 275. I don't know, but she says 260.
I mean, what if it was only 10,000? Would that change anything?
10,000. So there's a lot of more people involved.
But when you're trying to lie about something, like in terms of the people who are putting this information out there, the more specific the number is, the more authoritative that you sound.
Yeah, we should train people to look for an attribution also. But anyway, here's a little bit more.
269,000 sealed indictments, but I think it might even be up to 500,000 sealed indictments. And I believe that we're going to have an emergency broadcast, and the military is going to come in with martial law, and we are going to be shown 8 hours on, 8 hours off of videos for 7 days, the world, and they're going to be showing us taped tribunals, taped confessions, and the world is going to be awakened to what's really going on with the deep state.
And it's so intermingled with like that stuff with the 8 hours on and 8 hours off.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second. I mean, first of all, there's such like religious undertones.
That was my point. Like the specificity. It's like the days of the plague, right? When she talks about the hours on and hours off, mixing with sci-fi, because I keep thinking like the Space Force is beaming in some sort of message. It's like, you know, in an alien movie where they take over your whole TV and everybody's, you know, watches this in horror.
It's like someone recounting to you the book of Revelations.
Yeah.
And saying like there's going to be a seven-headed Hydra. They're going to come down. They're going to descend on day 1. They're going to do this on day 2. This will happen, and there's going to be 8 hours on, 8 hours off of the videos that are going to be playing. I mean, like, first off, what I don't get is, okay, so you know this information, right? You found it out.
Yeah.
Aren't
Did
you
your own research?
Well, aren't you concerned too that there's like, there seems to be some intel leakage here? Like, this is not stuff that we should, like, if I feel like if I found that information out, I'd be like, we got to tighten this shit up a little bit. This is not tight enough. Word's going to get out, and all of a sudden people are going to be like, let's do something so it's not 8 hours on, 8 hours off. It's like 6 hours on, 6 hours off or something of the tribunals that are playing.
So is Trump going to be like hosting? Because this sounds unbearable to watch. I got to say, like, I'm worried that we're going to live stream it.
Oh my God.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to. Of course
Get ready.
Of course we are. It's
We're
going to be
gonna-
martial law.
We're gonna have long
days.
days. It's like election night, but for 8
my
hours
gosh.
on, 8 hours off. Did she give say how long these broadcasts would last in terms of like weeks? Because we got to clear out our schedule.
I know. Like,
We have some guests lined up that we may need to cancel on their bump.
yeah, I mean, the Fauci like first day is going to be really difficult.
Do you think they're going to give Fauci 16 hours? That's going to take 2 days. But that's the thing.
No, it's 8 hours on, 8 hours off. You cannot mess with it.
Well, you could give them 8 and then
No, it
take 8
spills
hours
over
off.
to the next day for the next
Yeah.
8 hours. And if it takes, 17 separate 8-day interrogation, 8-hour interrogations of Fauci, so be it.
Emma, you sound like a lunatic right now.
Okay.
There are 24 hours in a day. That means 2 sessions of 8 in one day.
Yeah.
That-
We're going to need 2
that- that's not
sessions.
Why are you purposely trying to put out misinformation
That's not
about how many hours
synchronized.
there are in a day?
If you do 2 8-hour sessions, it tilts the whole balance off. It's 8 hours
You're just
on, 8
backtracking
hours
now.
off. No, honestly.
You totally CYA now because you didn't
Yeah.
realize that it could have been starting at 8 a.m. You could start at midnight, 12 to 8, then 8 hours off, 8 to 4, and then 4 to 12.
We need 4 hours for Kaiser Khan and his wife.
I mean, you just do not have the sources that I do
Oh
in the
my
Space Force.
God. Jeez. Yeah. So I just wrote 8 hours on, 8 hours off. Who's running these tribunals? Hassan Abi.
8 hours on, 8 hours off.
Just doing it for the Twitch
Yeah,
stream.
optimized for Twitch.
Exactly.